leak or the gap there was only about a 1/16 of an inch, but the water cascaded down all the way down the hull. You can see the track, and it went down the hull, and then down the hull, and then it went along the bulkhead here, and then cascaded like a waterfall into the bilge, which fortunately is quite deep on these Compac 23s. Well, this is the extent of it, I believe, and you're probably thinking that this would be a whole lot easier with the drywall knife, and you'd be right, but of course the drywall knife is at home, all three of them, and that's about an hour away. So let's see if we can do the surgery with my good old buck knife here. Well, whatever's on there is certainly nice and sticky and pliable. This is still soft here, so I'm wondering if there's water behind it or if we actually have a good seal. Probably not a good seal from the feel of that. Yeah, there we go. A little camera bump there, throwing the trash out. Well, that's all fairly tight there. It's not going to take a lot of anything to get it fixed. Well, actually, it's probably another tube of our expensive marine grade materials we seem to like. It's a good thing I'm not a surgeon, huh? Boy, that is tough stuff. Yeah, okay, you can see where that's gone in between the top of the deck and then the hull, so I don't know that I need to really go any further. I can get a knife blade between it though. That's probably not real great. Let's cut it off here. Yeah, that's good and tight there, so I'm not going to go any further. Couldn't believe how much water was coming in from that tiny little hole. It was only a 1/16 of an inch right here. It was just a 1/16 of an inch. You can see the trail going down. That goes up against the bulkhead, and then it follows right into the bilge. That's why we couldn't find any other problems. That we thought that was odd. The good news is that this is a freshwater leak. It is not salt water, and if the boat is heeled over with the rail down this far aft, we're probably sunk. So there really wasn't any hazard to the boat at all, just our nerves. And if you're familiar with the Compac 23s, it has a very deep bilge, and so you can have gallons of water down there, and you won't flood the cockpit, or you won't flood the cabin. Okay, here we go. The plan is to draw this bead right across here with this stuff, and then I'm going to use a painting knife to try to smooth it out. Sound like a plan? We know how that works. Okay, I'm going to get under this guy right here. Shouldn't need to be any bigger than what you're seeing. I don't know that you get any real advantage. I had this cap on and everything cleaned up and a nice good seal, and it's still dang hard to get anything out of this. Now that tends to piss me off. These things cost 20 bucks a piece. And it's basically single use. There we go, that's a little better. There. This is more like plumbing. I know it's not easy. I'm concerned about where the caulking ends on the fiberglass. That's where the leak was last time. So I want that to be I don't know if it needs to be thick or what, but right in here, that's where the leak came from. It gets around that edge somehow. I can get a little more glue in there. So I was envisioning something like that. I don't know why it's making those little divots there, those little holes, but I'm just gonna fill those up. Hopefully this will be the end of it. Down here in the south or any place else where you got salt water, is that the first thing you do when you have a leak is you taste it. And then there's some cause for rejoicing if it's fresh water. It looks like the bottom part of this is pretty good, so it just grabbed right onto that bare fiberglass. I think we're going to call that a day. I'm going to put a little goober down here at the end. It's making me nervous. I don't know. Somebody want to give me a hand there? Oh, geez. Just in case that wants to try to rise for some reason. It shouldn't once everything's dried up. Or set, or whatever you want to call it. Well, I think we're going to say that's it. Well, I thought I'd take the rub rail off here in the area of where we had our leak, and look what I found. This was just hanging out. So I think we found where it was coming in at. Is that all going to come out? Oh, great. I feel like that's a little offset here. I'm surprised. I don't know what that's all about, but everything else looks like it's sealed. So I'll clean that up a little bit, and we will put some of that good old 4200 in it. The entertainment there is not my vehicle. First we were dodging the airplanes, and now we got somebody that does what I do a lot and bump the control. We're just going to try to clean this out, and then I'm going to fill that full of goo, or the 4200, because this is the of course the rubber rail is off, and this was the general area of where we had our leak. All right, that should take care of it. So, thought I was done with this, but I guess not. And we're going to do just like we did before, try to fill it up. I'm going to start a little bit back where there's no issue, and then I'm going to work forward here, trying to get that to go in that crack as much as I can. Not a lot of pressure involved though, you know. The strange part about this is we've had this rubber rail, we've taken this rubber rail off several times in the process of trying to diagnose the leak, and I know we would have seen this, so we're not too sure how it got there. I'm going to try it this way. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Okay. That looks deceptively easy, doesn't it? Actually, it doesn't look too bad at all. Well, let's just give the water a place to go here. Just going to go along this slant. This really isn't plugging anything up, but don't want him, you know, maybe it'll run off. See, there's a fastener there. Often wondered why they didn't bolt them down, or at least at this age they didn't bolt them down. Can't cost that much more, and it would have saved people grief, but nobody's in that business. Now I'm going to do a capper on it here. Okay, and then take my handy dandy painter's knife. Some of you don't know, but I like to paint mostly nautical scenes. You'll see them sometimes in the videos, or if you're we have a Zazzle store. That's one of those print on demand, and only the difference here with Zazzle is that you can design your own. I do a lot of it for you and put my stuff on it, and then you can just either leave mine or put yours. It's a great way to remember good events. Don't know how much of this we're actually getting, but that looks like a keeper to me. Get the goobers off here. There. Probably should come across the top, knowing how tight that
rub rail is. We did replace our rub rail a number of years ago after an incident with a commercial fisherman and a floating fuel dock at John's Path. He really didn't do anything wrong, but his wake sent us right underneath the dock, and it destroyed what was left of the original guard here, and we just went and replaced the whole thing all the way around. And what's going on here? For now, I'm going to do this. Some of these really little hairline crack things like that, I don't think make any difference, or at least we've never attributed a leak to them. Because remember, these flanges are about an inch or so wide, and being that wide, a little surface crack's not going to leak. In my opinion, with all of my, did I say experience? I think I thought it, but sometimes that's not a good thing. All right, I'm going to have to leave this off probably for, I don't know, a number of hours anyway, and we'll just come back. I noticed on the original, when they build them, originally they have tape over this is a very high concentration of water. That's where it all drains off. So just to be on the safe side, we put this on, thinking that that's where our leak was, but it turned out not to be the case. But you certainly open to any kind of suggestions, comments. If you like what you're seeing, please like. If you want to subscribe and be notified when we do this, hit the subscribe button, which is down on the lower right hand corner of the screen, also on the end screen if you watch the whole thing. Okay, I think we're done. We've been fighting this mystery leak for many moons, and it's been extremely frustrating. We've flooded the cockpit because we heard that sometimes the scuppers will leak. Not this one. We've flooded again. Not this one. We've hosed the boat down very heavily with high spray so we can get off the hose, and did that for quite some time, and did it several times, and just could not make the leak show up. So this is the product of many months, and to actually be on board during a nasty storm. This was a real deluge. It's a normal Florida summer deluge type storm, and there was enough water coming in, and there was enough wind that it made that one little part, and I'm talking that was only a 1/16 of an inch gap between the outside and the inside, and it was flowing. You could see the path run down and into the bilge. So if you're looking for a leak like that, it could be all kinds of things. Somebody told me they thought it could be the gas line going through the transom. If that wasn't, if the pipe wasn't caulked properly, maybe it's somehow leaking. Wasn't that? Of course, the scuppers had never been recaulked, so I went and did that anyway. So we've redone the sail tracks on both sides. I'm looking at my winches suspiciously here recently. Now this morning I came down to check things out, and we did have a terrific storm down here last night. I wasn't here for it, but you can tell it was bad just by the puddles and where the water's still standing and all that kind of stuff. And this time it hit the starboard side, and when I came in, there was quite a bit of water on the cushions. I'm hoping that's just maybe I didn't have the ports cranked down quite hard enough. That could be with the type of wind and the type of storm that was. Maybe it was getting around the cabin wood there. Don't really know yet, but we'll find that out. And this time I'll be looking for the small things, and I can't overstress that. It's a small, little, tiny leak in the right conditions. In other words, very heavy rain and wind-driven rain that will cause it to leak one time and not the other. Drives you crazy. But we've got the major part of it done. There was water in my bilge though today, but maybe a cup. So after a storm like that, I would have expected much more. So it's a success, but I've got a few more to track down, and we will be working with that. But it's a great relief to know what to even look for. And I hope you've benefited from this. Maybe you've had experiences like this. If you have any comments, please leave them. If you like the video and like my site, please like and subscribe, and we'll notify you when a new video comes up. And we'll certainly have a conversation on things. Next up for the hideaways, let's see, we're going to be working on the interior cabin, so you'll be looking for that. Fair winds. Talk to you later.